What's popping, y'all? It's another episode of From the Block Podcast. We got Malika and Justin checking in. We got my girl Nori in the building. What's popping, everybody?
Good, DC?
What's up?
What's good?
Okay, the biggest has finally been released from prison. The one and only Vybz Kartel. So look, I can't even say that he's a self-proclaimed king of the dancehall because you can go to any Caribbean spot, damn near any spot, right, and many other places, and the love that he receives from just him being him and his music is literally out of this world. So, Afrobeats, we've seen a major rise in Afrobeats within the past 8 years. And that leads me to, some discourse. Because if you don't know, Vybz Kartel, he's a dancehall artist. He doesn't do Afrobeats. All right, so that leads me to, my main question, with all the discourse going on that I've seen online with Afrobeats versus dancehall, which one is more prominent, right, in today's culture. Does Afrobeats have competition? Will we see Afrobeats, will we see a decline in Afrobeats now that Vybz Kartel is out of prison? All right.
So I think there's a multitude of points that you kind of got to all tie it in. All right. So first things first, shout out World Boss. The real is free. I will be going to Jamaica this summer. I will see y'all later. I'm not missing those vibes. Next summer. I'm sorry, not this summer. This summer's over with. But next summer, when that first tape drop, or whenever the first tape drop, I don't know. I'm letting y'all know right now, I'm out of here. Bye. I'm picking my passport. We stamping that thing. I'm going to be in Jamaica with the vibes.
Off topic, I just knew Drake was going to jump on that.
Come on now. You know he's sending.
I knew Drake was going to jump on that.
The OVO hit makers have already sent the bag. It is okay.
Even before I saw the pictures.
Come on. We already had the private Escalade to come pick him up. All right. We're going to let him get to the stew. We good. We done already got all of that solved and figured out.
Yo, I seen something on Twitter. They said every major Drake fan that that's a guy, they look like him in some form of variant. Look.
I still like Drake.
Hey.
I'm gonna just leave it alone.
If you want me to look like a multi-billionaire superstar, by all means, that's fine with me. That's fine with me. Because I saw that concert when he pulled up the P&D concert last night. He ain't even sing no words. He just said, and the whole crowd, oh my gosh. See, we don't need to diss other people to get that done. You know what I'm saying? We're already number one. It doesn't matter. The world is healed. So Drake P&D
going back
out.
To your main point.
Boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? We good. Now,
going back to your main
let's
point.
get back to the main point here, okay? So, as I've mentioned before, I think that the section culture has kind of taken over, not just in America, but you kind of see it everywhere, all right? And I think that people are getting tired of it. First of all, people don't have the money to be spending $300 to $500 every time they go out, all right? That's number one. You know what I'm saying? That it becomes too expensive, especially from a guy's standpoint, because 9 times out of 10, y'all are women. Unless you're out with your girls, you're not paying it. You're not paying the bill anyways.
Facts.
Hell. Even if you out with the girl.
I would say especially if you're out with your girls, you're not paying.
9 times out of 10, if you out with your girl, I mean more so like it's strictly a girl's night, you know what I'm saying? No, but
if you solo.
But 9 times out of 10, y'all not fronting that bill anyways. So it's usually buzzed down between 1 or 3 whatever guys who were there in the first place, right? We getting tired of that shit, okay? I'm just going to let you know right now. I'm not paying $500 for a bottle that costs $60 in the club. Now, why does that matter? It pertains to this. Dance hall music, Afrobeats, the core foundation of them all is to dance and have fun. Y'all got a million different dances to a million different songs. By the way, I love it. I'm learning new things every day. I was just shout out Broccoli City, was just there, and there was a good example. I was at Soul Out Dates. Shout out Soul Out Dates. It was a good example of how hip hop, Afrobeats, dancehall, they kind of like the party they had was like a combined all together. If you notice, a couple years ago, we're speaking of Drake, a couple years ago when he dropped Honestly Nevermind, everyone looked at him crazy, right? Everyone looked at him crazy because they were like, this is not what I was expecting. We have this house music type.
that.
Exactly, but remember what he said back then. He said in 2 to 4 years, we're already ahead of the schedule. Y'all are gonna catch up and realize. Go and I'm gonna give you another part. Go look at Young Miami's new snippet. You see the Afrobeat, dancehall, house music type beat.
Okay, so what's the correlation?
So the correlation with it all is that you're going to see with Vybz Kartel getting out and with dancehall just basically getting their Drake back. They're getting their rejuvenation back. They're getting their number one guy back. You're going to see a big rejuvenation in dancehall, similar to how Afrobeat artists have been working with hip hop artists. You're going to see a lot more of that with dancehall artists. Now, I'm still learning the difference, so don't correct my image, but you're gonna see a big assimilation. And you're gonna start seeing a lot of these labels. From what I'm hearing from these labels and things of that nature, they're basically like, we're done with the trap music. We're done with
that one. I do agree, because even if you look at the charts, rap is declining.
Rap is declining. Rap, quote unquote, gangster rap, as I like to call it, gangster rap. That music is becoming more and more unrelatable as the day goes on. And
I think what you're trying to say, right, just to summarize everything, is that instead of it being so-called a competition, you're just going to see them intertwining more.
You're going to see more, you're going to see a lot of we're going to get to a point where majority and you again, I see it in the parties that are happening. You're going to get to a point where a lot of the music that's being played at these parties is going to be Afrobeat, dancehall, hip hop, all just kind of mixed in one. The beats are going to be, you might have a hip hop.
That makes some sense.
You might have a hip hop song, right? It might be hip hop artists, but the beat and foundation is dancehall, or the beat and foundation is Afrobeat. And they're starting to figure out how to assimilate it, and that goes back to, again, this is why I talk about the section starting to decline and dance floors coming back. And that music dictates the way the clubs are gonna go.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if y'all know Rocksteady. They have something called Bomba Tuesdays, and that's a vibe. There's not really any, huh?
Where is it?
That's I think Marietta Street, if I'm not mistaken. It's just, I'm still like a little unfamiliar with like the actual street names in Atlanta, but just know it's in like Atlanta. But there's no like sections. Like they have places where you could sit down and stuff, but it's like a first come first serve type
and
thing.
That's how.
But it's a vibe. But it's Ampiano Afrobeats, and yeah, y'all should go. It's every Tuesday. It's hosted by DJ Cash and at Rocksteady.
I know DJ Cash. He's a good DJ, so that'd be okay.
That's a vibe.
Yeah,
No, for sure.
But see, that's more so what I mean when I say, like I feel like, just kind of getting away from, because, okay, boom, right? When you look at the gangster rap era, that was bottle popping, that was, flexing in the club, throwing money, things of that nature. Now we're getting more into that where you got rock star rap, Ian, Yachty, Uzi, Cardi, right? I call them rock star rap. That's the rage. That's the festivals. We're jumping around having a good time, etc. Then we got the vibes hip hop side of things where you're starting to get more. You got like this is why I say people talk about Drake's influence. This is where the influence comes in. You got the rap melody, where you're going rap singing back and forth, where you're creating a melody, and so then where are the best melodies that you're gonna get? Well, you're gonna get that from dancehall music. You're gonna get that from Afrobeats music. So that's why you see DeVito and Burna Boy working with other American artists. You know what I'm saying?
But I feel like even with that though, I feel like that's a little tricky too. Cause like I don't know if you feel like how I feel, but in the beginning, because I remember even when DeVito, he had tracks with like A Boogie, and I think when Burna Boy even started like branching out, they got a lot of backlash though from their own.
But that's life though. Let me tell you something. One of the rules the rules I live by. First they hate, then they laugh, then they try to copy. They're always gonna look, humans' natural instinct is to hate something new. We hate when, look, I'm from Atlanta. I hate when people be like, I hated the whole migration. Now, I love my city though, because again, what we just talked about, it's a lot of bullshit here right now. I hate the migration. DC, same way, right? You know, it's been a lot of migration. But at the end of the day, I gotta love it because, hey, Atlanta's this hub, it's Mecca. I'm able to make more money than I've ever been able to make. There's more job opportunity. There's more opportunity that I'm able to make, more networking. You know what I'm saying? Be able to meet people from different areas, and then maybe you go visit them in those areas, and then now it's easier. It's easier than ever to become what you need to be in Atlanta because of, you know, the assimilation. And so while I think what has to happen is that you're gonna have a weird time, but we have to come to respect each other's cultures and then figure out a way to be able to work together to create a new product.
I think that one's going to take some time.
It is.
Not gonna lie.
I
Because
agree.
I even remember watching DeVito's interview on the Breakfast Club, and he was like, the backlash was so much from his own. He was like, yo, when I record it, I got to go back to Nigeria. Like, I can't even, like, it's going to be a minute. Except for, like, Chris Brown. For some reason, he loves Chris Brown. But, you know, I say all that to say, because I actually was going to ask you, so what, in your personal opinion, when do you think the switch happened in regards to like the popularity of Afrobeats compared to dancehall? Because I don't know if like you remember, but I would say back in like 2014, 2013, like even Burna Boy and Wizkid, like their vibe, even though that they were like Afrobeats artists, they still had, you could hear like Caribbean influence in their songs. And I know you do both in your music too, so that's why I wanted to like know your opinion.
No, I don't know exactly like a date or like a musical moment in time that would have like shaped the entire you know, the landscape of the Afro like Caribbean like music forefront or whatever, but I would say like when you remember that song by Wizkid came out, the Oyu Elegba song.
What year was that?
Like 2015 or 16, like the one that's like, oh, na, 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 na,
I'm gonna keep it real with you. That song with him and Drake.
Oh, the Come Closer.
Not to give Drake any credit.
I think
there we go. Hey, with who? I know what song you talking about too.
I'm done with
on
you.
Views, right? Was that on Views or More Life?
No, I don't think.
No,
it was on
he had
either.
another one with Wizkid though on Views too. The One Dance. I think Wizkid was on One Dance.
That was after. That was after all that. I think.
Yeah, you know, you're right. It was after all that, but that's how I got like introduced.
Yeah, but that whole movement was happening all at the same time. So it was like a few different things, and then like Davido was also out doing his thing too. Like I don't think it was like one artist or whatever.
Me personally,
yeah, that was 2017. I remember this.
I think 2017 with when Davido had released Fall. That's my personal opinion.
I remember that. Fall was everywhere.
That was everywhere.
What about
like
that?
even, and I'm not even an Afrobeat or.
No, you're right.
Fall was everywhere. I know that.
What about that Joanna song? Joanna.
That was 2018, right?
Joanna. Hey,
No, that was 2018.
That was another big one.
No, that was 2018,
everybody was on that.
Or 2017.
Everyone was on that. That was 2016.
That's what I'm saying. It's
was
all,
it?
Yeah,
because that was my sophomore year of college. I remember that because I remember going. That was the first time like you started hearing them, and then Drake came with Views right after that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it kind of was just a domino effect. Because once Drake started teaming up with Wizkid, then that made it cool for everybody.
No, because
I remember everybody was like, "Who is Wizkid? Who is this? Who is this?"
Nobody really knew at that
the
time.
The record
here.
was big, but I think the record gave off like Caribbean vibes versus like real African vibes. And I think people didn't really know that they were listening to an African song until 2017 when Fall came out, and they were like, "Oh, African music!" Like
what happens is this: that might have all of that started it, but you got to remember, in the States, we didn't know the difference. That was the thing with us. In the States, we didn't understand the difference. Because again, at the end of the day,
but niggas didn't know.
Straight like that, niggas ain't know. I'm from Riverdale, Georgia. I don't know. I ain't never even. Only thing I know about Jamaica is the motherfucking water and the Raft Boys, and the lotion and that famous lotion and the picture that you see you see all the fine ones taking Jamaica. All right, that's about all I knew. Okay, all I knew was I need to go to Jamaica. I need to become a Raft Boy. All right, that was like the thing. Okay. Still is, goddamn. Y'all over here running it up. I see y'all boys. They getting paid $200 to goddamn put some lotion on a bit. Damn, I'm in the wrong profession.
I'm done with
But
you.
like, yeah. So, but like, I remember from my standpoint was Views. Views set it off for me. Now, again, we still didn't really understand the difference. I think that's one thing that needs to be, I think that's where Vybz Kartel and the whole dancehall movement can come in, where we can finally get a clear distinction.
But you don't think people understand?
No.
Bro, if
Most
Burna Boy can sell at the State Farm Arena, I think people understand.
Because there's so many people there, because you're in Atlanta. Atlanta is a cesspool of different cultures now.
My guy does arenas though. Like
I know, but
nationally.
I'm saying everywhere that he's going, those are areas. If you go to DC, there's an enormous amount of people that understand the difference. If you go there's becoming more people that understand. But I'm talking about the common everyday average American. Most of us don't understand the difference. Hey, I'm still learning. I'll be the first one to say it. I'm still learning the difference. Because quite frankly, I didn't find this out till like last year that it was all different. I thought it was just, different beat styles or something like that. I didn't realize it was two totally different cultures.
It all sounds like the same language.
Yes, it all sounds.
I guess when you
the
don't
beat
know,
styles all
like,
sound. Yeah, the beat styles all sound. They all sound similar to me. It's kind of like but look though, if you were to go to the UK and ask somebody about like Detroit beats versus Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? Like or Louisiana versus Detroit, that people would be like, I didn't know there was a difference. I thought it was all from America.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right? So it's the same principle where you gotta understand a West Coast beat versus a Detroit beat versus a Louisiana beat versus a Chicago drill.
Off topic, I hate when people say that all Southerners sound the same.
Exactly, because somebody because you know what I'm saying, I'm talking about like they're from Atlanta, but then if I'm from Florida, they might say jit. If I'm from Texas, they might say, they talk a little different. Mississippi talk different, but you wouldn't understand that until you get down here and you see there's always somebody that creates that cultural barrier. Somebody jumps the border with, like you said, even though there's a bunch of hate from your side, somebody's got to do it, because eventually they'll hate and then they'll be like, oh, well, this isn't too bad. If it's good, it's good. No one cares.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if y'all remember 2016.
That was such a great year.
It was.
Vybz Kartel, he released that song Fever. I don't know if y'all remember
that was Broke Off Your...
No, close.
One,
but that was also released in 2016.
That was
too.
2016. No, I was just listening to that. I downloaded the essentials from Vybz Kartel because I had to get...
You remember that song? It was like Fever, Vanya for 90.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
This was...
that shit was everywhere. That was everywhere.
Pangea 2016. Shout out DJ Thunder. Shout out my dogs down there in Broward. Shout out Dave. All of them. Pangea 2016. I'll never forget when that came on. I remember you just saw every... Boom, 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 boom. I remember
that shit was big.
That shit was so crazy
but then just like going back to what we said earlier, it was like a switch. Like once that kind of starts to die down, then all of a sudden, I know for me, all I saw was just African music everywhere.
To us, we didn't understand the difference. We didn't know that it was let me tell you this. I started learning more when I started realizing, a lot of y'all are from Nigeria or from this. Oh, okay, so this isn't dancehall music. This is something else. Then that's when we started realizing, it started clicking. Oh, this is Afrobeats.
Yeah, I feel like it was like Afrobeats are always like existed in the background, and then also in their own countries, like in Nigeria, but I feel like the scenes were like shifting during that time. Like I feel like 2013, 2014, like Don Jazzy and like
they're not for no number.
Okay,
But look though, educate me, because I was in high school around that time. I didn't know nothing about that. I was listening to Wayne, Drake, 2 Chainz.
We got put them on.
Thug.
So
you gotta get me hip. Give me some background. So give me some background on that 08 to 2014 dancehall Afrobeat vibe. Who were the popping artists?
Oh yeah,
Peace-
personally.
Yeah, P
that's
Square. You had Tiwa Savage, Don
Okay.
Jazzy.
Who else was doing their thing?
But like dances too, though, because one thing I recognize when I'm watching y'all, there be some dances they be doing or just some movements, and I'm just kind of like, is there like for us, obviously, you know, back in the day, we had the nay, we had the whip, you know what I'm saying? We had the Dougie, the jerk. You know what I mean? We had Soulja Boy. But like, so then my question is for y'all, right? My question is, what type of, you know, like what was that for y'all? What was that, you know, for us? What was that for y'all?
Look, I'm
What
gonna
were
keep it a
some
buck.
names?
I'm not like I'm not a dancer.
Me either.
So
but
I
know
didn't.
certain-
I know you saw some
Azonto?
popular ones though. Give me a,
Azonto?
Oh yeah, from
what
Ghana.
is, what is that?
It's a dance from
It's
Ghana.
it's a dance. It's like when they do like that, and then
Oh, when they be
they're
doing
like,
the look, yeah, I be seeing them do that. I be seeing them do the look. And I like the one where
And
they
then
be, I like the one where they be got. I like the one where I love it. I love this right here. That little shoulder shake they be doing. I love that.
Oh,
that
that one with Wizkid, 2018 when he had dropped the what's that song? Soca.
Oh,
The-
Soko.
yeah.
It's called Soko.
Yeah,
Soko?
that one.
Yeah, okay, Soko. So I did. That's what I. So I think that's one thing too. Like I wish somebody would go through and make a TikTok of just kind of like all of like those like little dances.
Essentials. And
Yeah,
the
like
songs
the
and the
like the
dances.
essentials, because I feel
That's
like
funny.
be it from where I am, we didn't get exposed to that. But when I see it out, I'm like, cause I like to dance. I like to have fun. You know what I'm saying? I like to leave the party knowing that, because for me, I don't go out all the time. When I go, so you know, I'm more of a, even though I throw events, people get this misconstrued a lot. Even though I throw events, I'm not always just out on the scene every weekend. I go to either what I'm paid to do, or I'm going to something that I truly enjoy. Right? Like I've scoped it out.
So you don't go to a lot of African Caribbean?
I'm just now getting into it. I'm just now kind of
Yo,
like,
when we wait, hold on.
like like I guess when I told you about Rum Punch, like going to a good weekend, I'm just now like Rum Punch was like probably one of my first. I've been going to Rum Punch for like 2 years now.
Oh, you haven't been? You should definitely go to that.
Yeah,
Never been.
it's one of my first exposures to like.
Hold on, because I had showed Trey J this song. Have you heard this? I know you've heard this before.
I've heard this.
What they remix?
I've heard this.
You never heard this, Justin?
No, never heard of this.
Okay.
What is that? Wait, what is that?
Okay, but she's heard it.
What is
that? So Vybz Kartel and Spice is called Rumping Shop. But I'm saying if you go,
I know the only Vybz Kartel songs that I really just know is
Lord.
Fever, and there's one more that I know. Hold on, I gotta go to my playlist. I have it put away.
Nah, but Nori, tell me I'm lying. You hear this song at any Jamaican or African spot, they finna blow that place up. Hey,
I know
told you.
I know Fever. I know
Okay.
Fever, Infrared,
Okay,
and
that's a big song.
and Half on a Baby.
Oh,
Those are the only.
I gotta put you on.
I know. No. Again,
I gotta put you
this
on.
again. This is something because see, one thing about me, as an event coordinator, I have to be prepared for the next era. I already see the next 5 to 10 years. It's going to be ran by events where people can dance, party, and there's a balance between having somewhere to sit down, VIP, and having good places to dance and have fun, because they're going to start making more music like that. But you're not going to hear the usual regular dance hall where it's all the way, right? They're going to start figuring out a way to find that balance between hip hop, dance hall, hip hop, Afrobeats.
You know, I gotta get you back for part 2 because they finna be confused with this next one. You know the discourse in the diaspora about the Afrobeats versus Ampiano.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you think that's gonna basically like
break it down
the
for
music
it, yeah,
that they
'cause
do.
don't know either. I don't know that. Break
The
it
music
down
that
for
they
us.
do in like South Africa,
African.
like the Ampiano,
is different from.
like what you would hear in other.
So is it similar? Wait. So
no,
like
it's not similar.
So wait. I'm gonna give you an example.
It's
right?
very different.
No, I know. I'm saying I'm gonna give you an example. It's kind of like how when you talk about. Let's put it like this. It's kind of like how when I don't know if y'all know about like like jigging, right? Like when you're doing like jigging like in Louisiana, you know how they dance, right? Y'all know how they dance in Louisiana, right? Like You get what I mean? Okay, but
I don't
have you you ever seen like Mardi Gras? They do it in Louisiana,
Okay.
Florida, and Chicago. And so what'll happen is they get into a real argument about, people will always say, oh, it all looks the same. No. They'll be like, no, Chicago does it this way. Louisiana does it this way. Texas does it this way.
I think, okay, maybe like okay. You know how they do, okay, Louisiana and Georgia is the South. But they would do bounce music in Louisiana.
Yeah.
They won't do bounce music in Georgia.
Georgia is trap, yeah.
So, yeah.
We're trap and finesse, yeah.
So basically, I guess like that makes sense, right? Like a trap music versus like bounce
But I see,
music,
I feel
even though
like
that we're
there's
both
a-
in the South.
Yeah,
There's a
kinda-
clear,
it
distinct
makes
difference,
sense.
though. Like, I feel like there's a clear difference.
And
See,
same thing with
there is
Afrobeats
difference.
when I
versus
say
Ampiano.
like, and I think, and maybe y'all might understand
but
this.
that's for part 2. We got to.
Yeah,
Okay.
because see, when I say jigging versus juking,
I don't know what
I don't
any
know
of
you
what
that
might
is.
either
you
of
might
those
hear you
are.
might hear the same. You might hear it might sound the same, but the way Chicago do it and the way Louisiana do it is night and day.
Jigging versus juking.
Jigging versus juking.
Jigging versus juking.
Yeah, juking is
Yo,
Chicago.
we got
They
2 people
do-
from Chicago coming on the next episode. I'm gonna ask them
Man,
about
yeah,
that.
ask him about juking. Chicago
what
juking. It's what they did growing up. That was they style. But then like people will get it mixed up with Louisiana jigging. But then Louisiana jigging and Texas and Mississippi jigging are 2 different things. But then Florida, I know you seen Mr. Florida Boy, how you be like I know you're doing this shit on purpose.
Oh,
baby,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But like that's they style. I don't know you ever seen Young Miami mention it. You'll hear I'm gonna play something old that'll really like wake you. I'm hoping you've heard this before.
I don't know if I have.
Y'all never heard that song before?
No.
That being That's like Florida. They got their own little like little dances. Like you got go ahead and drop your like yo. And so what happened is I'll hear this because see, boom, right? Florida has a lot of island people down, obviously, for obvious reasons. They have a lot of island people down there. So their Miami parties will be mixed with you'll hear a lot of like hip hop Caribbean mixes. And
Oh, with
a lot
that
of
I
their
agree with,
dances, and a lot of their dances are made off of that. They got the one it's I'm trying to think what his name is. Drop your shoulder. It go like and go ahead and join and I gotta remember how to. But yeah, I'll find that in a minute. Well, y'all speak. Let me find that. Yeah.
So my last and final question to kind of round it out. So I see like a lot of club promoters on IG. We're really all over social media going crazy this weekend and talking about everyone's planning their upcoming trips to Jamaica. Everyone's like really excited about this release, and I even seen like a couple clubs. They have a lot of Caribbean clubs in DC.
Oh my God, yeah.
Well,
But also,
I was just at one. My goodness.
Yeah, I see it on
And they're
TikTok, and I
lit.
was like, I didn't even know.
also they have a lot of like Ethiopian culture is based around like a lot of we pay attention and take a lot of influence from Caribbean culture.
Yeah.
And like reggae and like dance hall is like a thing. So
I feel like, but don't you think that's low key like everywhere in Africa though? Low key, because
it is. I just know there because I've been there. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of Ethiopian like lounges and like places in DC because there's a heavy Ethiopian diaspora there.
Mm.
So like I saw like over the weekend, and I just flew back from DC yesterday, but I
Oh,
saw over
wow.
the weekend there was a party at like this place called Caldi's Social House. Like there's a bunch of like Ethiopian pockets and like Caribbean pockets that were having
Especially in Maryland.
that were
especially
having
in
like
Maryland.
parties and like
Justin,
pastas and like
Justin, you was there for 2 days.
I was partying with
How
them.
you-
I was there for 5 days. I partied with the Africans all 5 days.
What
They
shit?
had me lit. I ain't even gonna lie. Had me out there popping 16. I saw all the Nigerian scam money. They popping 16 bottles in the club. These boys, I'm talking about, I walk in the club here. drink. I said, whoa.
Wait, have you been to the clubs on Buford Highway?
Yeah,
like the
I've
living
been around, but it's different.
It's
up there.
different?
It's a whole, they for real out there. But that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I need to go.
I hear.
It's a lot of African
No,
people.
the Ethiopian food is amazing. You know, I realize, that's what I said. We falling behind. We need to catch up.
Big, like, my parents moved there because they're, like, of the Ethiopian.
Oh,
like,
wow.
There's a lot of Ethiopian people there.
They have what I
in
think the
the
next
DMV.
5 years are going to look like. Assimilation between hip hop. They would have one DJ that
I didn't
came
know DC
on.
was doing it like that.
DC lit. DC the North. The only reason I wouldn't go up there is because of snow. I'm not dealing with no snow.
Well, really, the whole DMV is lit then.
It is
Yes.
lit, but like I wasn't expecting him to go like that hard. Saying
No,
how
I
lit it
am no. I am here to say now. I recognize that it was a big weekend, and it's not like Atlanta, where because you know Atlanta every weekend's a big weekend for us.
That's
we
true.
do what y'all do on a big day is like just another Saturday for us.
Yeah.
Not saying that's a bad or good thing. It's just there's just so many people in Atlanta. Any given time, there's 100,000 birthdays. You know what I mean?
Facts, yeah.
So it's just kind of like that's just what it is. You know.
Yeah.
But when I went up there, what I saw at Broccoli City, what I saw at Sold Out Days, what I saw at Citizens Rooftop, what I saw at St. Ives was I saw the next 5 years and what it's gonna look like. And whoever in Atlanta can get to it first, they're the ones that are gonna monetize the most off of it. Being able to say, fuck this trap shit, we're done with that. We're not gonna not throw it away, but that's not our main focus anymore. We're gonna make sure as these Drake Vybz Kartel songs come out, because you already know it's coming. Y'all already know it's coming. It's coming, right? But then that's gonna open the doors up for some other. You might see a dancehall artist X Sexy Red. You don't know. You might see a Boss Man D-Lo X. I don't know. We don't know what's coming, but just understand these labels recognize that trap music. Look, quite frankly, the reason why it's also not relating is just because a lot of these kids, a lot of these kids that are going out having fun, they not in the trap no more. The trap not going outside no more.
Well,
Look,
that's why I was finna ask, like, do you think this new potential wave that's coming, do you think this is like, are people hyping it, or do you think, you know?
It's coming. No, it's coming to stay. Look, a lot of us aren't struggling. Look, you got to think about it. All right, and I'm going to put it in a history lesson because it all ties in.
All right, let's wrap it up.
It all I know it all ties into me. All right, like when you know back in the 90s, early 2000s, you know what I'm saying, we were still coming off of like, you know, we were still kind of, you know, coming off of that. I feel like nowadays there's more than ever, while we're still drastically behind, there's more black people than ever that are successful, and a lot of them are coming from different ethnicities, and because of that, you know, they're not relating. They don't relate to the trap no more. They don't got to go move a pound of weed no more. First of all, it's legal half the country. They're not relating to a lot of that stuff no more. So a lot of those people aren't outside anymore. I told people this 10 years ago, back when Uzi and Cardi and all of them were coming through. I said, watch, in the next 10 years, gangster rap is going to have a significant decline, and you're going to see more rock star rap. You're going to see more other country music assimilating into hip hop. Hip hop has evolved, and I feel like a lot of us are always going to say hip hop's dying, blase, blase. No, it's just evolving. It's becoming a different version. Just as when in the 90s, when it evolved into gangster rap. When gangster rap became, because remember, that wasn't a really a thing. If you go back to the origins of hip hop, it was more jazz, you know, based. It was more, you know, like cypher based. And then it evolved into gangster rap. Gangster rap had a solid 20-year run. You know, then Kanye, Drake, right? Wayne, that's why Wayne likes Drake so much, because Wayne saw the future. He was like, no, I understand this isn't gonna last forever. So I need to find the next man up. Mm-hmm. You know, like, and that's just what it is.
On that note, I think we can all conclude, which I'm glad we had this discussion, but I think we can all conclude that there will be no competition in the future, and that we're going to see a merge in Afrobeats and dancehall, and
hip hop. We're going to see a merge, all of them coming together.
Yeah. So with that being said, you can follow my girl Nori on all social media platforms at
Nori Balai, NOORIBELAI.
Follow my boy
Everywhere.
Justin.
That move maker with 3 R's at the end.
And you know what to do. From the Block Podcast. Okay.